Everyone, and welcome to this video. Okay, today we are going to solve some past paper questions from the topic of stoichiometry. People also call it stoichiometry. Okay, let's start. What amount of oxygen in moles contain 1.8 into 10 raised per 22 molecules? Here we have to find the relationship between moles and molecules. So we have a formula which says that number of moles is given particles over Avogadro's number. So these are the given particles, like we have 1.8 into 10 raised to power 22 over 6.022 into 10 raised to power 23. So what answer we will get? We will get around 0.03. Okay, for this type of question in which you have a relationship between molecules or moles, we have the formula of given particles over Avogadro's number. Which compound has the empirical formula with greatest mass? Now we want to find the empirical formula with the greatest mass. So if you look at the options here, this is not empirical formula. How I can say that? Because it's not the simplest whole number ratio. This formula is the simplest whole number ratio, but these are not simple whole number ratios. So first we want to convert them into empirical formulas. Like this is C2H6. So what will be the empirical formula? CH3. This is C4H10. So what will be the empirical formula? C2H5. This one CH2, and this one is CH. If you have any doubts in this, I recommend you, before starting this past papers, we should recall the old videos, go to the video section and check how to find the empirical formula. Now see which one has the greatest mass. This one, because it has more number of atoms, so your answer will be B in this case. Third question, it is for the equation balancing. We have done a lot of practice before also on this, so I will directly give you the answer for this. This is D. Like what he is asking you, when the equation is balanced, what is the coefficient of oxygen? So when you will balance it, you will see like that you have a 5 here and you have a 2 here. In that case it is balanced. He asked you the coefficient of oxygen, so this is 5. 3 decimeter cube of sulfur dioxide is reacting with 2 decimeter cube of oxygen. This is the equation. What volume of sulfur trioxide is formed? So you're asking about us the volume. When the state of matter is gas, we can directly solve it with volume. No need for moles because it's a gas form. So volume is the same. We can use it. Here first you should have to see if the product is involved. You want to talk about sulfur trioxide. So which one of these two will be responsible? For that we need to find which one is the limiting reagent. So we have SO2 and we have O2. According to the equation, 2 moles is reacting with 1 mole. Okay, so you have how much? You have 3. Sorry, not moles, decimeter cube. 2 decimeter cube is reacting with 1 decimeter cube. So 3 will be reacting with how much? X. So if you do cross multiply, we see that the value of X will be 1.5. So value of X is 1.5. We have 2 decimeter cube. It means what? We have oxygen extra. If this is extra, this one is the limiting reactant. It will control the product. So 2 moles, sorry, 2 decimeter is giving you 2 decimeter. So you have how much? 3. 3 will give you how much? 3 will give you 3. So the answer is C. This question is coming from the concept of limiting reagent. Now moving forward. What will happen to the volume of a fixed mass of a gas when its pressure and temperature are both doubled? When you have a question about gas, so it's better to start with PV equals to nRT because it's applicable. Now it says volume. He's asking for the volume, so rewrite the equation in volume form. You have nRT over P. It says what? When the pressure and temperature both are doubled. It means double the temperature, double the pressure. Now this 2 cancels with this 2. So again you get the same equation. So it will not change. The answer of this is this. What amount in moles is present in 2 gram of sodium hydroxide? You have 2 grams of sodium hydroxide and you want to find the moles. There is a relation between mass. It says what? Given mass over molar mass. Given mass over molar mass. Given mass is how much? We have 2 gram. Molar mass we can find from the product table. There is a video available if you have any issues. So it's what? 23 plus 16 plus 1. It will be 2 over 40. 2 over 40 is how much? It will be 0.05. So the answer is E. A hydrocarbon contains 90% by mass of carbon. What is its empirical formula? It's a hydrocarbon. So hydrocarbon is basically that compound which has only carbon and hydrogen. It says 90% carbon. So eventually remaining 10% will be hydrogen. Now how to calculate empirical formula? We have done that before. I will quickly do it. We divide with their masses. When you will divide it, you will get this much for carbon and hydrogen. Carbon will be around 7.49 and hydrogen is around 9.9. Dividing both with the smallest one, you get this will be around 1 and this is around 1.3. Now we want to times it with a common number, so it becomes a whole number. We times it by 3, so we get what? C3H4. The answer should be B. This equation is for balancing again. We can do it. I will do it directly. You can check. He is asking you the coefficient of HNO3. So the answer for this is C8, because if you have an 8 here, okay, and if you put a 3 here, and then how many nitrogens are short? So we have 4H2O and here 2NO. In this case the equation will be balanced. Okay, this is equation balancing, so it can be verified. Lithium hydroxide reacts with carbon dioxide as follows. The equation is given to us. What mass in grams of lithium hydroxide is needed to react with 11 gram of carbon dioxide? You keep this thing in mind. This equation is balanced. It gives you relationship of moles. So make it a habit. So if you have a question in grams, try to convert it into moles. Otherwise the relationship will not be same. Okay, like this, the relationship is between moles. 2 moles of lithium hydroxide is reacting with 1 mole of CO2. Here you have 11 grams. So it's better you convert it into moles. How? By dividing it with the molar mass, which will be what? 12 plus 32. Right? Around you will get 0.25. Normally it should be 2 digit after the point, but in this calculation where you get approximate answer you can get, so it's okay. You should use 12.01 or 12, it's okay. So it will be around 0.25 moles. It means what? The relationship is 2:1, because from the equation we get it from the equation that 2 moles of lithium hydroxide is reacting with 1 mole of CO2. But you don't have 1 mole. You have how much? 0.25. You have 0.25 moles. So 0.25, here you put an X. You cross multiply, you get what? 0.5 mole. You got 0.5 mole. But the question is in grams, so better to convert it into grams, times it with the molar mass of lithium hydroxide. Okay, around 6.94 plus 16 plus 1, you will get the answer around 12. So your answer is 12. There are multiple methods to do a question. I choose this one. It's simple. You just convert first grams to moles and you get the relation. You can do reverse also, like you don't want to convert, you can convert the moles into grams also. What change in conditions will increase the volume of a fixed mass of a gas? Again, the question is related to gas, so you can use PV equals to nRT. Okay, you are talking about volume, so volume is nRT over P. Now we want to see which of these conditions will increase the volume. If I double both temperature and pressure, it means what? I times it by 2, I times it by 2, I double it, so they will cancel. So there will be no change in the volume, right? Because they will cancel. If I do half, again half, will be cancelled with half. So again there will be no change. If I double the pressure, half the temperature, it means what? I double the temperature. I just rewrite here. If I double the temperature, it means I times it by 2, and half the temperature, it means I times it by half. So when you will solve it, you will see it will go 1 over 4. So instead of increasing, it will decrease the volume. It will become 1 over 4 V. So it decreased. So when you will half the pressure, double the volume, then what will happen? Sorry, half the pressure, double the temperature. So it will be 2 here. It here will be 1 over 2. This 1 over 2 will go up and it will become 4V. So volume will increase. So the answer is D. Next we have how many hydrogen atoms are contained in 1 mole of ethanol. Okay, this type of question, the best approach is to do step by step. It's like one molecule. This is one molecule of ethanol. It contains how many hydrogens? It contains 6 hydrogen atoms. Okay, in 1 mole how many molecules are there? In 1 mole, from our Avogadro's number we know it is 6.02 into 10 raised to power 23 molecules. If one molecule has 6 hydrogen atoms, so 1 mole will have how many? Times it by 6. So when you will times it, you get the answer, and that what is that answer? It is 3.6 into 10 raised to power 24. This will be the answer. The percentage of mass of the element in a compound is this. What is the mole ratio of carbon hydrogen? Okay, there are 3 here, but he has asked only for carbon and hydrogen, so we don't care much about oxygen here. We follow the same steps. We divide it by the masses as we do for the empirical formula, 1.01 divided by 16. Here if you see, this is how much? This is 6 and this is 12 and this is 1. So mole ratio for this is what? If you see, for this one is 6 and 12. 6 and 12. In simple, it can be 1:2. So the answer is 1:2. He didn't ask for oxygen. If we don't count it, we only checked for carbon and hydrogen. What is the coefficient of O2 when the equation is balanced? Again, it is an equation balancing question. You can do it. And the answer for this should be C. Here we have 5, 3 and 4. I think then the equation will be balanced. Yes. What amount of NaCl in moles is required to prepare 250 centimeter cube of 0.2 moles per decimeter cube solution? Sometimes if you are confused in exam like which value this is, try to focus on the units. This is centimeter cube, so surely this is volume. This is moles per decimeter cube. Moles per decimeter cube is basically what? Concentration. So we have a formula which says C is equals to N over V. This should be mole and this should be decimeter cube. So using this relation we can get the answer. Like we want to create a solution. Okay, how much we need for 250 centimeter cube? The concentration is given. So that's the formula. C equals to N over V. N is equals to what? C into V. Just be careful with the units. Units should be same. This is centimeter. This is decimeter. To make them same. To convert centimeter cube to decimeter cube, we divide it by 1000. Okay. So we have here concentration 0.2, and what will be the volume? 250 divided by 1000. So the answer will be the number of moles. We will get around 0.05. So our correct answer is D. For the set of conditions of a fixed mass of a gas has the greatest volume. This is similar question. Again, you can do it the same method I explained you before. PV equals to nRT, then V is equals to this. The answer of this is again D. Which of the following contains the greatest number of molecules? Now in this one we want to answer which one contains the greatest number of molecules. So we have here grams, given mass. You remember there are two formulas for number of moles, is given particles over Avogadro's number, and we also have given mass over molar mass. If you see, now we want to see which one contains the greatest number of molecules, like the greatest, the more, which has the highest. So given mass of all is same. given mass, if you see 1 gram, 1 gram, 1 gram, it means if I convert it into number of moles, this is same, all will be 1 gram. So which one, if you see, greatest number of particles will be in that particular compound which has the greatest number of moles. Why? Because Avogadro's number is constant. It is constant. When I want to calculate the particles, it will be what? N into Avogadro's number. If this value is high, then what? It means the particles will be more. Molecules will be, because it's a covalent, so molecules will be more. So lowest mass, if the lowest mass is there, will give me the highest number of moles, because the denominator is fixed. So if you see in all of this, which one has the lowest mass? A has the lowest mass because it has one chlorine only, so it will give you the lowest mass. Less mass will give you greatest number of molecules. So the answer for 16 is what? 16 is A. Which of the following contains compounds have empirical formula CH2O? So you want to find the empirical formula. We know the method. You can rewrite it C2H4 and O2. So what is common here? 2 is common, so the formula is CH2. Here again CH2. Oh, here this is not CH2O, so the answer is what? C1 and 2 only. Assuming complete reaction, what volume of 0.2 moles per decimeter cube HCl is required to neutralize barium or hydroxide with the given conditions? This is basically titration. It's good to write the equation, because to have the mole ratio you need the equation. So how can you write it? You have HCl plus Ba OH twice. Now what should be the reaction? You know that this is an acid and this is a base. When acid reacts with base, you always get salt and water. Now I want to see which salt you have. You have here plus H2O. Now how to write the salt here? See, the metal part will be from the base, non-metal part will be from the acid. You know the group number of barium, I think it is 2 plus, so valency is 2 plus and Cl is 1 negative. So when you write it, you will get what? BaCl2. You should get BaCl2. Now if you balance it, if you balance the equation, here it is 2. This is why we did all this equation part, so that we can get the mole ratio. Like if it is 1 mole of base, we need 2 moles of the acid. Now here we have what? We need to find what? How much acid is required, but only thing we are given is the concentration. We don't know the moles. So for that we calculate it from this part, like we do in the titration questions. From here we can calculate, like C is equals to N over V. So N is what? C into V. Okay. Now concentration is how much? 0.2. How much is the volume? It is 25 centimeter cube, so you have to divide it by 1000, so you get the decimeter cube value. When you get it, what should be the answer in this case? Let's say, let me just check, it is 0.2 into 25 divided by 1000. You will get around 0.005 mole. So this is the amount of what? This is the amount of base. Now per our equation, if you look at the equation, the ratio of acid to base is what? 2:1. For the moles of the acid, for moles of HCl, what you have to do? You have to times it by 2. So 2 into 0.005. So when you times it by 2, you will get the moles of acid, which is how much? 0.01. Now these are the moles. Now you want to find what? You have the concentration, you have the number of moles. What do you want? You want to find the volume. So use the formula C is equals to N over V, or V is equals to N over C. You have the number of moles, which is 0.01. You have the concentration, which is 0.2. When you will put it, you will get the answer, which is 50. You have to convert it back to decimeter cube. Your answer should be 50. Okay, little long question, but the pattern is very simple. You need the equation, you need the ratio, and then you find the missing term. Under what conditions would 1 mole of methane gas occupy the smallest volume? You want the smallest volume. Again, it is related to gases, so you have nRT over P. nRT over P. You want the smallest volume. It means you have smallest volume. It means high pressure and low temperature. If you have high pressure, the denominator will go up. Denominator goes up, volume goes down because it is inverse relation. So which of these suits in which you have high pressure and low volume? I think B is the correct answer. The temperature in Kelvin of a 2 decimeter cube of an ideal gas is doubled and its pressure is increased by a factor of 4. It's again related to gas. See, lot of questions are from general gas equation. So volume is what? nRT over P. And what's the value here? When you solve it, you get 2 decimeter cube. So what we do here, he says pressure increased by a factor of 4 and what is here? Temperature is doubled and the pressure is 4 times. So we double it. We say like nR 2T over 4P. So this 2 ones are 2, 2 twos are 4. So it becomes what? Half. And this nRT over P value is how much? We have 2. So we put here 2. The answer we get is what? 1. So we get here the answer 1. Okay. What is the definition of the empirical formula? It shows what? It shows the simplest whole number ratio. Now this is again equation balancing question. We have done a lot of practice. When you will solve it, you will see the answer is what? Answer is C in this case. Okay. I have given you 2 methods before for equation balancing. If you have any issues, try to revise them. The equation for complete combustion of butane is given. What is the amount of carbon dioxide formed by the complete combustion of 3 moles of butane? Simple ratio question. 2 moles is reacting and giving you 8 moles. 2 is giving you 8 moles. 3 will give you how much? X. So it is what? 2x is equals to what? 24. X equals to 12. So we have here 12. We don't care for the limiting reactant here because he told us that you have to do it to 3 moles. So we can do it directly. Which solution contains the greatest number amount in moles of solute? This is again question related to concentration. C is equals to N over V. Okay. Now you want to find the greatest amount. So N is equals to what? C into V. Just you will what do? Times the volume with concentration and see which one give you the highest answer. In this case, we get the highest answer in C part. So C is our answer. A fixed mass of an ideal gas has a volume 800 centimeter cube. The pressure and both are doubled. We have done this question. If it is doubled, both are doubled. Okay, it will have no impact. So the answer will be same. Okay guys, till here we stop. In the next part we will continue from this question. Thank you so much for your time.